Hey traders, what's going on? This is the watch list video for Tuesday, July 13th. Starting off with the SPY after the gap down 3 sessions ago. It's just been slowly climbing, sitting at all-time highs again. Just a couple, well, my favorite call from the day was Kevin P, which you hear that a lot, right? MDIA, look at that monster move it made. And I'm going to show you the setup. For those of you that didn't make it to chat today. All right. So this is what it looked like. I had early volume, topped out at 575, came all the way back down to 440, worked its way back up and hit 550-ish there. He called basically the second mouse through 550, which pulled back and wait for it. And then boom, ripped through the high of day and just never comes back, I don't think, to 550 again. Hit like 570 here and went all the way up. I mean, this market's so weird. From 550, it went to 1822. So, $12.72 move in one day on a 550 entry. That's a great call. I gave what now looks like a really lame call, but I called CETX this morning right about here over 215. And it went, over the next 10 or 15 minutes to 255, which percentage-wise is good, but doesn't look good next to Kevin P's call. So there's just a couple quick highlights. I want to go into the watch list for tomorrow here. Keep in mind, I'm trying to stay focused on in-play stocks because I'm a day trader. I don't hold overnight, and then take A-plus intraday setup. So, if things are going well, I'm never red in something for more than a minute or two, because if I am, I was wrong and I get back out, right? We look for those entries that should work right away on stocks that are in play. If I had to narrow it down in a very short quip as to what we try to do, right? Anyway, BAOS. Pretty handsome looking daily chart here. Popped back here to 5, then put in a lower high around 450, and then touched that again today. This one goes on long watch for tomorrow. XELA was on the gap playlist, and it's just holding up really well. I'm not in love with that chart, but it's holding up really well, so I'm going to watch it. MITQ, which has only been trading for 3 days. Looked like it opened around 12, went to over 27, and now in 2 days, all the way down to 10 something. You've only got 3 days to go on, but if it breaks its early range and if it stays somewhat narrow and breaks out in the afternoon, that is always my favorite way to enter, one of the bounce plays that we have on watch. So that one is on watch for that. CPOP is a little bit similar to that. A recent IPO that went nuts and now is what, 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 or 6 red days in a row, almost to all-time lows now after hitting almost 80 a little over a week ago. And again, I'm not suggesting this should have ever been 80. Maybe it should have never even been where it opened on opening day around 12. I don't know. But it's certainly a good setup for a potential bounce one of these days. And it could actually get, a sizable move if we get an A-plus setup. All right, so that's CPOP. Wave, you see a theme here. There's another one, an IPO that opened and it's been trading a little over a week and just nothing but lower days after the first day, or after the second day, I should say. Certainly a good setup for a potential bounce play, but only with an A-plus intraday setup. I sound like a broken record, don't I? BLIN, just a recent high flyer that's worked its way back down to that area between the 8 and the 20 that we like. Potential bounce play tomorrow. And I threw MRIN in there, same reason. This was the strongest stock in the whole world just about a week ago, and now it's come back down right in that middle of that 8 and 20 day. Certainly an interesting area, and we'll watch that for potential bounce tomorrow. Carve, massive short squeeze 3 sessions ago, and then now we've got 2 red days on declining volume. Pretty good setup for a turn back up. NEGG, another recent high flyer that's down for a few days in a row. Looks like it hit the 8 day today. I mean, I honestly still think that one needs to come down a couple more days, but you never know. Seed, SEED, had it on watch today. And I think I only got 1 trade in this thing. Looking at what I did, I don't want to talk about it. I made way less than I should have. But to be fair, if you were in chat today, to be fair, while it was kind of starting its run, there was just no volume whatsoever. It wasn't given any kind of a clean setup. And then it just finally took off. So by the time it got volume, I started looking for a pullback play. And then I called it over this candle, that lower high over 1325, which looks good, right? Because it went pretty quickly to 1440. But if you were trading it, you'd know that it hit 1325, and on this same 5-minute candle went all the way down to I can't remember now, 50 something or, something like that. So I was using the 5/8, the 8 EMA on fives as my stop, and I came pretty close to having to hit out, and then finally got to sell. I sold a chunk over 14. So money-wise, I did well, but I would not call that a great trade because of the risk-reward, right? Anyway, but it's super interesting for tomorrow because it had the biggest volume you can see going back for a long time, and it looks like it topped out right around the 200-day. So I'm looking for a follow-through day tomorrow. I was actually watching this in after hours, but it never did anything. So that's that one. We're going to definitely watch it tomorrow. And then lastly, I'm going to throw CRTD on watch, which had a big spike today, but closed well off its highs. Still, to me, that's an in-play stock. I want to keep a close eye on it tomorrow. We'll find other gappers to add to the list as well, and hopefully we'll catch some A+ ups, make some good money tomorrow. Keep in mind, it is summer trading. Volume felt very light today, so you got to really be patient. And if you're doing it right, in my opinion, you might find yourself going 2 or 3 hours at a stretch without taking an entry if you're doing the right thing and waiting for A+ setups. This is kind of typical summer trading, but as you can see, some stocks absolutely work and run and rip. So it's all about being in the right place at the right time and being patient, waiting for those proper entries. All right. Anyway, I'm done babbling. We'll see you in the chat room in the morning.